What's up, guys? What's going on? I want to talk to you guys about a brand new wrestling game on the market. It hadn't been out very long. It is called Retromania Wrestling by Retrosoft Studios. I put a good amount of time into this game. I think I'm confident giving my opinion. Let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly about Retromania Wrestling. Alright, fellas, I've got my notes right here, and if you guys know me, I don't want to play around. Let's get straight to the point, shall we? Let's do it. I've got my trusty dusty notes and my trusty dusty pen, so I can mark things off as we go. Okay, let's get down to this game. Retromania Wrestling, made by Retrosoft Studios. This is, I've heard it called a direct sequel to WrestleFest, the arcade game. I've heard it called as a spiritual successor to Retrofest. Either way, it's a wrestling game and it's here. Let's talk about it. So let's talk about the good real quick. Let's talk about the graphics and the arts. I actually really like the graphics. It's kind of a throwback to the kind of our old school arcade days. It is not what's known as picture realistic like the 2K games, where they try to get as realistic as they can with you know, all of the faces and bodies and all that kind of stuff. It's very cartoony. It's very cartoony, but you know who you're using, you know who you're playing with, you know who you're fighting with. So it's not cartoony to the point of super distracting. I almost think of it as kind of caricature-ish, but not quite as embellished. So let's move on to the sound and the voiceover work. I think the sound and the voiceover work are actually pretty great. The voiceover work, the announcing, while it's a little limited in the phrases that are said during the match, the ring announcer, I think, is fantastic. The ring announcer is freaking great introducing the guys. A little more phrases and whatnot while you're fighting would be appreciated, because you just kind of hear the same thing over and over again. But that being said, it's really well done. It's really well done. The arenas, I really like the arenas. I like the backgrounds. I like the variety. I like that we have two different cages. We have the blue cage, which is, you know, kind of old school. Then we got the chain link cage. There are a couple of, there's a beach one. There's a few outdoors ones. There's a couple of NWA rings, old NWA rings. There's even a wrestling ring or an arena after the video game convention in Oaks, Pennsylvania, called Too Many Games, which is a really good video game convention. I like going there. I go there every year. I've been there the last 6, I think. Hopefully next time it kicks back up, I'll be there again. I love that convention. If you guys are anywhere in the area, please go. It's a good time. But I think they did a really good job on the arenas, if I'm being honest. There's a lot of good about this game. There really is a lot of good about this game. Let's see here. I like all the Easter eggs. Okay, there are a ton of Easter eggs in this. A lot of it in the way of different YouTubers and whatnot. So people I've noticed, and especially the Too Many Games arena. Let's see, Alpha Omega Sin's in there. I've seen Metal Jesus. I've seen 8-Bit Eric. I've seen RGT85, I've seen Sean Long, I've seen Stupid Pat and Ian, I've seen Billy and Jay from the Game Chasers, sorry. I've seen, I know that there was Wood from Beat 'em Ups. Is his channel even still called Beat 'em Ups anymore? But you guys know who I'm talking about. And Jay and Silent Bob from Jay and Silent Bob fame. I've also seen, oh my gosh, there's so many Easter eggs. There's so many Easter eggs, and I think it's amazing. Oh, John Riggs. I don't know if I said John Riggs, and if I did, I'm saying it again, John Riggs. The only thing, look, I'm not gonna lie, it's really cool to be in a video game and see a pixelated me. I wish I was a playable character. I don't know. I think this game could be good enough to maybe get a YouTube wrestling game going, perhaps. Let's keep moving right along. One thing I really like in this game is the button mashing quick time events. Like whenever you lock up and stuff like that, it reminds me of the old school like Nintendo 64 wrestling games where you're sitting there just slamming the buttons. I really like that. Actually, kind of gives me nostalgia feels. I like the variety of the matches. Okay, now we got 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2. We got a 3-man, a 3-way. We got a 4-way elimination. There is, should I say 2v2? I did say tag. There's a 6-man tag. You can do teams. There's, again, cage match. There's, what else? And a Royal Rumble. So that's a lot of variety in the matches, so it doesn't keep you too bored. If we can add anything, obviously what? Tables, ladders, and chairs match or something like that, right? But right out of the box, I think they give us a lot to do. Game mode, several different game modes as well. You got story, you got exhibition. You can do, 1v1 or 2v2, or I think you can sync up to what, 4 controllers on a PlayStation 4 maybe? I know you could on a PlayStation 3. You can do it that way. You got 10 pounds of gold, which basically is 10 matches. About halfway through you win the belt, and then the rest of the 5 matches you're just kind of defending the belt. What's cool, and Royal Rumble. So let me talk about some of these for a minute. Royal Rumble, you can have up to 16 people. It's a 16-man roster. You have exhibition, literally you versus the computer if you want, you versus, couch co-op, whatever. You got story mode. Story mode has seemed to be a little lengthy and a little wordy in my opinion. And I know story is half of wrestling. I get that. I understand that. But, when Tommy Dreamer jumps on and you're like, I want to fight for the hardcore belt, and he goes on and on and on and on and on, it's just a little too much. It's a little too much. I actually put that in my bad, but we're not to the bad yet. We're still talking about the good here. Also, I want to talk about the variety of moves. Now, the variety of moves in the characters have their own unique moves is really what I mean by that. I really appreciate that. Now, how to do each move is the same. You got left up and down square, left up and down X, left up and down circle, left up and down triangle. How you do the move is completely the same across the board, but the moves that they do are different per character. Same with taunts, actually. Same with the taunts. So for all my trophy and achievement hunters out there, if I'm being honest with you, this is going to be a pretty easy platinum. You can do it. Okay, so this is just for you guys, I guess. If you want an easy platinum that you might actually have fun with, this is the game. If you really wanted to sit down and grind it out, you could get this done in maybe an 8-hour session, 10-hour session. 12 max. The story mode again is a little bit long. A lot of the trophies can be done with just syncing the second controller and beating the hell out of player number 2. You got to win matches with certain people. You got to win matches in certain styles. Like in one, you got to win with a submission. One, you got to win a 3-way match with Tommy Dreamer in a certain arena, the ballroom, and you got to win a match in every arena as well. And I believe there's 16, 18 arenas as well. I think there's 16, 18 arenas as well. So like they're giving you quite a bit in this game. You have to win a Royal Rumble, which you can set that down to 8 players instead of 16. 10 pounds of gold. Not only do you got to win it once, you got to win it 5 times with 5 different characters. That's a little grindy in my opinion. I don't understand why it was necessary to do that. Once was enough in this guy's opinion. But, what do you want me to do about it? So this is actually going to be a very easy platinum. I sat down and I've maybe got 6 hours into it, and I've only got 4 more of the 10 pounds of gold matches and finished the story mode. And I'm there. I'm ready to rock and roll. Game you might want to check out, especially if you like wrestling, especially if you like arcade style wrestling. Let's get to the bad, okay? The bad here is, again, I've talked about the story mode. The story mode is a little wordy. It drags on a little too much in my opinion. About a quarter of the way through the story mode, I found myself just hitting X and fast forwarding through the dialogue. I really wish I didn't want to, but again, like, I'm trying to win the hardcore belt. Let me go fight. That's something I would change. Tone down the dialogue just a smidge. That's just a personal thing. Maybe you guys like that. I don't know. I want to talk about the roster. Now, while the roster is actual wrestlers and real life people, save for Hawk and Animal, both of them have passed. You got Blue Meanie, you've got, I'm trying to think off the top of my head some of the guys that were in this thing. Tommy Dreamer, Nikola Volkov, old school guy. You've got Steve Richards. Oh, damn, let me think. I can't think of them all right now, but it's kind of a small roster. It's only 16 people. If we can expand on that roster a little bit, maybe some DLC, maybe get some replayability factor going on it. I do understand that all these guys had to be paid. I completely understand that, and I don't know what the budget was for Retrosoft Studios. I can't imagine making a video game is cheap. But for being a small indie, studio, and they got all these guys to agree, I don't know what it cost them. I mean, they could have done it for $100 and a copy of the game. What do I know? Some of them might have wanted $10,000 to do it. The fact is, we got real dudes. We got real dudes, not lookalikes. You don't have a guy going, oh, that's supposed to be Sting, and his name is like Wing or something, or a Hulk Hogan and his name is Bulk Togan or something. So I appreciate the real life guys. Just, if the roster was a little bit better, that would be a little bit better for me. One thing, and this is, now I'm nitpicking with the bad things, and I understand I'm nitpicking with the bad things, but this wouldn't be a True Thoughts video or review or whatever you want to call it unless I mention the good and the bad, and the ugly. But there's a trophy to defend your belt defend your belt in versus mode. So you get the belt by playing 10 pounds of gold. Whoever you play with, that guy's going to have the belt. The problem is when you go to versus, and whether you're playing the computer or playing against another human, there's no indication as to who holds this belt. So basically an exhibition match. There's no indication. So if you forget, if you're running on that trophy and you just decide, let me just do this one real fast, and you forget who last won the belt, you don't know who the champ is. So you kind of have to guess. And maybe a little belt icon, maybe a little star icon, maybe a little champion across his name, something. Again, that's a little nitpicky, but it's something that I thought of, at least. I want to bring to your guys' attention as well. Another point in the bad, the lack of weapons. You go outside the ring, you've got a chair. There's 2 chairs on either side of the ring. You can pick it up, you can hit. You're not going to hit very often because the opponent is usually a little bit quicker. They can strike you a little bit faster than you can swing the chair. So the lack of the weapons is something that I feel would need to be improved upon, either pulling them from under the ring, pulling them from the crowd, doing something. I would love if maybe we could get something where we're running with the weapon and smash them while we're running. You can't run with the weapon. And being able to bring the weapons into the ring. All those 3 things right there for me as far as the weapons go. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but those are things that I see that need improvement. I don't know what would keep me playing this longer. Would it be online? Would it be, having some people actually coming over and sitting next to me on my couch? This is a very fun game, though. It is a very fun game to play. I believe it is, don't quote me wrong, and I don't know when you're going to see this video, but $30 right now on PSN Shop, I believe, and Switch Shop and all that stuff. PSN, PlayStation Shop. Anyways, it's a fun game. Truth be told, I could run a tournament on this. I think I could run a tournament on this. I think people would have fun doing it, honestly. So if I got to give this game a score, I'm going to give this a solid 7.5. Week 8. Somewhere in that range. And it's really just because of those couple of points that I brought up. Outside of that, I recommend it. Honestly, I say pick it up. I say buy it. You know, it ain't 60 bucks. You'll have fun with it. If you like wrestling, if you like that old arcade style wrestling, could be really fun. So yeah, pick it up, guys. Retromania Wrestling by Retrosoft Studios. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. If you played the game, let me know what you think down below. If you got questions maybe I didn't cover, put them down there, and I'll try to get to those as soon as I can. Appreciate it, y'all.